Discussion. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It was wonderful listening to our rabbi speaking and talking about, this whole idea of calling versus conversion is so important because we have so many sects in Judaism today. The ultra Orthodox don't really look to convert anybody. Like you see the Satmar, I think you almost have to be born into it. And those who come into it who I don't know if they marry outside, their groups, but but you see the big battles going on in Israel, but who has the right to convert? The Orthodox Jews don't accept the Reform Jews, don't accept the conservative Jews. And yet all through the Torah, it has nothing to do with conversion. It has to do with hearing from God and a change of heart and wanting to have a relationship. And
It's funny, with everything else, think of politicians. Let's say you don't convert to the Conservative Party or the Liberal Party. You look at what they stand for. And here, people convert. I mean, shouldn't you be wanting to follow the ideas of this, whatever this religious group is?
right.
It's not, you're not converting to another religion. You're adopting the God that they, and it has nothing to do with being another thing. We don't do that in any other realm. You don't convert to, I don't know, you look at what you want to follow and how you want to live your life.
It's true. I mean, we do in many ways because when you go from the Democrat to the Republican, you belong to them and you donate to them and you build up that party. I guess maybe behind the whole thing is it's also power and money, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, I've known women who have converted to Judaism because they wanted to marry a Jewish person and they wanted the children to be Jews because the father won. And yet, once they're divorced, it doesn't mean anything to them. They usually go back to who they were before, because it's not a change of heart. And that's
Right.
that's really important. Yesterday, I was at Maimonides doing the Shabbat service there. And before we started, this Jewish man said to me, in Israel, there's so many people now who are starting to believe in Jesus. This is what he said.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said, even Orthodox Jews are believing in Jesus. He says, what do you think about him? Is Jesus the Messiah? So, and I was able to explain to him how I see Yeshua as being different than Jesus Christ. I don't think he understands because, for us, we've delved so deeply into this topic, but for them, I'm not sure they understand. But I said, I'm not excited about that, to tell you the truth. And I talked about the first commandment, because what's happened is Christianity has made him into another God. And Rabbi Yeshua never would have said he was God. But it was interesting how that whole topic came up.
Did he mean that a lot of Israelis are thinking of Jesus that way as the
Yeah,
Son of God and not just,
we didn't get into that because
okay,
I don't think he understands at that level.
okay.
Yeah. And then we had to start. So I didn't really talk about it. But I know there's a huge movement today of people, converting to Christianity today,
Oh,
even from Islam, converting. And that's what Rabbi always used to say. You convert from one religion to another is a sideways movement, but a calling, a change of heart, is a relationship that's vertical between God and us. And everybody here, I know in this community, who have come to know, to to believe in God the way we do, it's been a change of heart. We've had experiences, including our rabbi who had an amazing experience. Yesterday, no, this week, I think it was on Thursday, we had a young man, Mauricio, I'm going to introduce him to you. He's from Argentina, and he came to the congregation 25 years ago. And he was asking me about my story, about how I came to believe, and I was telling him. And then when I told him on December 25th, 1989, is the day I prayed to accept Jesus into my heart for what I understood then. And suddenly he started weeping because he said it was exactly the same day for him, December 25th, 1989. And it's like he's at a place now. He was supposed to go to Israel, but he came here to Quebec, to Montreal. He wanted to meet some of the people, see how we are now. He doesn't think he'll be back in Canada. He wanted to thank us for the part we played in helping him along the way. And here, I was able to talk to him about what we believe now and the gentle transition that we've gone, understanding who Yeshua is now. And I thought it was interesting that Rabbi mentioned at the very end of the message, I don't know if you heard, about the netilat hayadayim, the washing of the hands, and how we talked about that just last week. It was as if he was here last week, and how he said it had nothing to do with clean hands. It had to do with, because the Orthodox have made this ruling, this all these extra laws and extra rules that, and especially at that time, and you see it even today here in Montreal when you go to an Orthodox restaurant, a kosher restaurant, they always have a sink with a little pot, and you have to put it on your wrist. It's not even they're not even washing their hands. They're just pouring it on the wrist and saying a prayer. And they were,
It's like holy water.
it's like the holy water. Exactly. All these traditions, all these, and Yeshua was upset at the traditions, and not because he hated his people. He loved our people, and he wanted us to come back to the Torah. And I see more and more people are converting to other religions, but how many have a true calling like Abram, Lech Lecha? Imagine if we heard at I'm waiting to hear from God. I'm still waiting. Go back to the Holy Land. I haven't heard yet. I wanted to do that when I was 12 years old. I started preparing. I started learning Hebrew, going to Young Judea, always with the thought I was going to go to Israel one day. I went just to visit once, but I still haven't gone. And to tell you the truth, I don't have that calling today. I do not feel that inside me that it's time to go to the land. But when God wants us to go, He will pick us up. We won't even have to buy a ticket. He'll bring us all to the land. Imagine you're going to get out of El Salvador. You're going to come with us to Israel. We'll build our community in Israel. It'll be so exciting. Wow. What else did he say today? What do you guys remember? Oh, yeah, but the people in the Bible not being superheroes. Every time we give ourselves a rough time about something, about how we have failed, we just have to remember we're not superheroes and we're going to fail. And as soon as we come too proud about something that we've done or accomplished or how we are, and I tend to do that. Oh, let me tell you, we get brought down very quickly to reality. So it was a beautiful message. Thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah, for this week, I think I love the what is happening with Lot in Abraham. Okay, because it's something that happens is okay. And the point is that the portion start with Lecha, no?
Yes,
Which it means go inside of you and look inside of you very deep to find out what's going on
right.
inside of you. And this is exactly what happened with Abraham. He just looked inside of him, the
Right.
truth. But Lot, we can see him that he was depending on Abraham blessing. Yes, the Torah explicit says that he had possessions, he had flock, tents and things like that. So he was a rich man. But in some moment, he was receiving the blessing for he through Abraham. Okay. But Lot represents more or less the kind of person who is looking for the blessings and not for the blesser. Okay.
Right. Right.
And it's interesting that every time that the Torah says that Abraham lift up his eyes, okay, was when God was calling him.
Right.
Okay. But when Lot lift up his eyes, okay, was the moment when Abraham told him, okay, we have our pastors having some troubles between them,
The shepherds.
okay,
The shepherds.
the shepherds, yeah, and the shepherds had some problems fighting one each other, and then Abraham told to Lot, okay, it should be good that we separate,
Right.
we take different ways, okay. If you go to north, I will go to south. If you go to east, I will go to west. But the point is that until that moment, the Torah says that Lot lifts up his eyes. Okay. When he lifted eye, when he lifted his eyes, was to look for the material things.
Uh,
And it's interesting that he looked to Kikar. Kikar means circle. Okay. So it's like, have you ever seen, for example, a rat or some animals going down in circles? He might think he's advancing, like, okay,
it's a
but
what?
advancing, he's
Oh, he
going,
thinks he's getting
uh,
somewhere.
yeah, he's getting somewhere.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's just a circle.
Right.
He's just going through the same places, making efforts in running this having some strength put in for nothing.
Right.
Okay, so he decided to go to Kikar. Okay, so and then explicit says the Torah that Lot separate from Abraham.
Mm.
And this is very important because it doesn't say that then Abraham and Lot separated each other. No,
Right.
it doesn't say that. It says very clearly, Lot separates from Abraham. So it was uh, his own decision to separate, not only physically, but from his ways.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because look where he chose to go.
Yeah, he shows something that the desire of the eyes.
Right.
Okay, so he went to Sodom and Gomorrah. Then he lost everything. Why? Because he the fountain of blessing was Abraham,
Right.
was not Lot himself. Sometimes there are many people who believes, oh, I am the one who has the blessing, but no, you have the blessing because you are close to some righteous person. Okay,
Interesting. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in this way, Abraham just let him go.
Right.
Lot decided by his own to separate, go to the circle place. He didn't advance in his life. He just stayed at the same place.
It got
Okay.
worse. It got worse.
He got worse.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's why we can hear that when the angels, supposedly angels, went to Sodom, and Gomorrah to say God will destroy this place. Okay, what Lot did, I cannot comprehend how low he fall. Okay, he offered his own daughters
Yeah.
to all these men.
Yeah.
Okay, I cannot imagine that. I
Yeah.
have a Samara, and I cannot say to somewhere that is outside my house to say,
Yeah.
oh, take Samara.
Yeah.
It is not in my DNA.
Yeah.
So, but Lot did. So this is the fruit, honestly, of what he sowed,
Yeah.
because uh, he he only looked for the desire of the eyes,
Yes.
in after he separated the ways of his uncle Abraham, then that the moral and the probation came to him
Yeah.
and destroyed his family. How
And
he ends.
and look how it says when Abram left, he took with him all those people he had made, the people who chose to go with him. When Lot left, he didn't even want to leave, and nobody wanted to go with him. It was the
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the point is that God, through Abraham, gave the second chance to Lot.
Right.
Remember that he was rescued by Abraham when
Right.
he fought with the king of Gomorrah and Sodom.
Yeah.
But what after he was saved, he didn't wanted to stay with Abraham.
Yeah.
It was like day and night together. Okay.
Yeah.
And what he did, he returned back to the place that he was a slave. Okay. And this is a very interesting story, but it is something that I can see with many people today.
Yes.
God is saving them. God sent some Abraham to take them out from the slavery. And what happened to them? Okay, I will return back to the place of slavery.
Mhm.
What is the end? He's lost his wife. Okay, he lost the daughters, obviously. Then he made how do you say pedophilia? No, that is the way, or no,
Incest.
it's not
Incest.
incest. Yeah, incest. Uh, and then what happened when you see Abraham's sons and Lot's sons,
Hmm.
the deprivation of the kids,
Hmm.
okay? Because Ammon, okay, and Moab
Right.
are the fruit of Lot,
Right.
okay? That is, well, after we can see in the future what happened with all these people.
Hmm.
And they have a very, they were idolaters, but the way they practice the idolatry was very sad, I would say, because they not only offer the God. Remember what happened in the future when Israel went through the Moabites in this king who contracted Bilam. Okay, and the point is that that they made some gods. Okay, uh, that it was very filthy, the service of these gods.
Hmm.
Um, so that is something that probably men we usually um, have more problems, and it's a desire of the eyes. Okay, because men, I not only mean woman, I mean a new car, wow. Okay.
Yes.
The new house, wow.
Yeah.
So man goes through the eyes.
Yes.
Eh, but it is interesting that when you are a righteous person, after you hear the voice of God, you can lift up your eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
Things change. And it's interesting about what you just said about Lot, because if we understand the rights of these pagan cultures, giving their virgin daughters to the gods was a natural a thing to do. It would appease the gods. Homosexuality in those days, just like in the Greek kingdom, it was placed almost, these people were the highest level of spirituality. They were looked on very, we can't imagine it because we just don't think that way. So maybe for Lot to offer his virgin daughters to them, or to offer them in that, maybe that's part of, he was so steeped in his own pagan culture, he couldn't even see anymore what he was doing wrong, you know. And this whole idea of self-examination, I have been mocked because I examine myself so much that sometimes I drive myself and everybody around me crazy. But, they said, what? Just get on with your life. What are you always looking at, trying to figure everything out? And it's so natural in me now to really want, because I want to do the right thing. And it's not easy to do the right thing. And the only way we could know what is right and wrong is by what God has given us. Otherwise, when we step into the other realm, it's like we're opening the Pandora's box. It goes from a little thing like a man shall not sleep with another man to all of a sudden a young girl to become a man. It's just, and who knows where it's going to go from there. It just, there's no end to the Pandora's box and the evil.
Well, you can see that right now
Exactly.
with the talks that Charlie Kirk had with some of these students. And I remember one, was it a man who became a woman? Anyway, one transgender person, um, who identified as a female. And well, I forget if it was a man or whatever. But anyway, he always asks, what is a woman? And okay, and usually they say they just answer whoever identifies as a woman. But this woman or man who became a woman said a woman has a womb and can bear children, blah, blah, blah. So that was correct. But then he or she said, but gender is not the same as what a woman is. Like now they've made a new kind of theology almost about what about sexuality. So it's not only that you're born a man or a woman, that's your biology, your sexual gender, your sexual whatever sex you are. But now there's some of the movement is saying, but gender is separated from sexuality. So they've made a new, like they're going above God, who didn't ever say anything like that. And so this person kept saying, I'm a woman because I identify as a woman. And Charlie Cook tried to get this person back to the fact that your DNA is not the same, blah, 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 and went on and on. Doesn't matter. It goes right above their heads. And you could really, when you go away from a standard that God has laid for the whole human race, anything goes. The lamp here can decide that it's a monkey and not a lamp. I mean, or it's so crazy what's happening that you almost cannot say anything.
Yeah. And you can't, because it won't do any good. It's
No.
going to take a revelation from God.
Yeah,
He's going to
totally.
have to pierce the hearts and show the world,
Yeah.
you know. And I see more and more this type of thing happening. Our cities are becoming more dangerous. But I keep looking at, again, the examples in the Torah, how God is teaching us to trust him
Yeah.
in every aspect. We just need to continue to trust him and to continue on this path, that may not be an easy one for us. Just like Noah built it, took over 100 years to build an ark on a mountain. It had never rained. Everybody else was evil. You know, our walk is not an easy one, but we have a calling, and we always have to be reminded of our calling. And it's funny because I always felt that I had a destiny. Even from the time I was young, and the destiny is almost bigger than life sometimes, and that's a calling from God. So that was beautiful. Let's see, was there anything else? I can't think of anything. All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to add before we say goodbye for this week, for this Shabbat? We're okay? Mauricio, you're giving the message next week, God willing?
Yeah.
Are you able to?
I don't, yeah, I won't be able because
Okay.
we had marriage. How do you say that?
A wedding?
Boda?
A wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wedding, and it's at noon, so
Okay.
it's almost at this time, so I
Okay.
won't
So
be able
we'll
to attend the
switch.
service.
So you'll be able to do the
Yeah,
following. So I'll
yeah,
do Era and you can do Chaye Sarah, which is in a way
yeah.
it's good because the last 2 years I did Chaye Sarah. I said, okay, so now I can switch. So it's perfect. Even that's from God. Okay,
Okay,
good.
thank you.
So have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful week. Let us keep our eyes lifted up to God and not be like a hamster running around in circles and getting nowhere. Just always
Yeah,
remember He's leading. When we walk with God, as Adam walked with God, as Noah walked with God, as Abram walked with God, He will make a way for us. He is our shepherd. He opens the door for us no matter what is going on around us. And that's how we build our trust in Him. So have a wonderful day.
thank,
God bless you all,
thank you.
and we'll see you soon, God willing.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.